One is next topic is real and apparent depth of an object when it is kept in a denser medium, alright, or you may keep it in a rarer medium also. Now this experiment today everybody will do. Now you are having ample time, okay, you don't have any other work, so today this experiment everybody will do. What is the experiment? Just you take a glass, clear still glass, means it is not a transparent one, opaque glass. Then you put a coin or you put an object at the bottom of the glass. So let us consider you have kept one object at the point O. Alright, this is the object. I have marked it blue color. Then how you will do the experiment? Then you just from here perpendicularly up, you look at the coin, it is visible to you. Now you do one thing, you just move sidewise. You see here, I am just showing it that this is the way when you are here, just you see, this is the point when you are here. Then till then you can see the coin. But when you will come here, then you cannot see the coin. Now you do one thing, you be there only and ask your mom or papa just to pour some water in the glass. You will see when water is poured into the glass, standing at the same position, now you will be able to see the coin. Alright, so actually what is happening, let us try to find out. So here you see, let us consider that when you are pouring the water into it, then this is the water level, this is the topmost level, water is there. Now what is happening from the point O, suppose two light is coming out, one is falling on the upper surface perpendicularly, you see how it is moving straight, falling it perpendicularly. So what is the angle of incidence for normal incidence? 0. So what will happen to the ray? The ray will not suffer any kind of refraction. So you see the ray will move straight. Clear? Now consider another ray. Another ray is falling. It is obliquely falling on the surface of the water. Alright. So what will happen to this ray? If I consider, if I draw a small perpendicular here, then you see what will happen. What will happen to the ray? It is moving from denser to rarer medium. So when it is moving from denser to rarer medium, how it will move? It will move away from the normal. So you see it is moving away from the normal and it is moving like this. Is that clear? So you see when your eye will receive both the rays, then I cannot follow this bent path. So what I will do, it will extend both the rays in the backward direction. Now both the rays are meeting at this point. So what is this point? Already you got this concept, earlier class, lower classes also. This is known as image of the point O. Alright, so what is happening? Just see, due to, so let us name it as O dash. We are naming it as O dash. So you see, actual position of the coin is at O, but due to refraction of light from water to air, what is happening? Image is formed at the point O dash. Clear to everybody? So you see, for any observer in air, when they will look at it, then all the points at the bottom, they will move up to here. So you see, look at the diagram, what is the real depth of water here? The real depth is equal to OA. Is that clear? But what will be the depth appear to the observer? The observer will observe it as O dash A. So you see, O dash A is known as the apparent depth. Is that clear? So this happens whenever refraction takes place from one medium to other. Alright? So in this case, refraction is taking place from denser to rarer medium, and then you look at the diagram, real depth is OA, whereas apparent depth is O dash A. So apparent depth is smaller than the real depth. Alright, now what we have to do, we have to find one relation between the real depth and apparent depth. Okay, so let us try to do that. So let us consider here, this is the angle of incidence I. So this is angle of refraction R. Now let us name this point as B and this as C. Clear? So you see, look at the geometry of the diagram. This AO and this normal, these two normals are perpendicular to each other and OB is the transversal. So you see, look at this angle and this angle. They are the alternate angles. So if this angle is I, this angle will also be I. Is that clear? Now again look at the geometry of the diagram. This line and this line, they are perpendicular and this is the transversal, extended BC or O dash C is the transversal. So you see this angle and this angle, they are the corresponding angles. So if this is R, this is also R. Clear to everyone? Now let us consider, this is the first medium and this is the second medium. Alright, the first medium is water here and the second medium is air, but the first and second medium may be anything. Is that clear? So that's why I am naming it as 1 and 2. So if I apply Snell's law, then what I can write, you see, sin I by sin R is equal to 1 mu 2. Clear to everybody? Sin I by sin R is 1 mu 2. Now, what will be sin I? Look at the triangle ABO. ABO. Is that clear? I am writing it here. In triangle ABO. What is sin I? Sin I is, how we can define sin I? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So you see, sin I will be perpendicular is AB, hypotenuse is OB. Is that clear? So what is sin I? AB by OB. Now you consider the triangle ABO dash. Then you see what will be sin R. This is the angle R. So what will be sin R? Perpendicular means AB. What is hypotenuse? O dash B. Clear? So you see, if I substitute sin I and sin R here, what you can write? It is AB by OB, then divided by AB by O dash B. Is that clear? Now you see, 1 mu 2. 1 mu 2 means one can write it as W mu A. Isn't it? Because 1 is water, 2 is air. So you have to write W mu A. Now, W mu A, one can write it as 1 by A mu W. Isn't it? Because you know A mu W will be the absolute refractive index of water. Now, look to the left side, AB cancel. So what you are getting? O dash B by OB equal to 1 by A mu W. So, A mu W is equal to OB by O dash B. Is that clear? Everybody has got? Now, I am coming to this point. Just look at it. When the observer will be able to see the image O dash. When the observer eye will receive this ray also, this ray also. So, you see, if the observer eye receiving both the rays, then what will be the size of the observer eye? Look at the diagram. The size of the observer eye will be this big. Isn't it? So observer is not a monster, I hope so. Clear? So observer eye is not so big. So how the observer will see the image? But observer is seeing the image. So actually, what does it mean? It means that as observer eye receiving both the eyes, it means that the point A and B, they are very close to each other. Okay, so as the points A and B are very close to each other, so what you can write? That actually the point A and B are very close to each other. So if they are very close to each other, then you see, you can write A mu W as A and B, they are actually the same point because they are very close to each other. So in place of OB, one can write it as OA. In place of O dash B, you can write it as O dash A. Alright, so this is the relation we are getting from this derivation. Very, very important. Concept-wise also for solving, numerical also. So let us find out what we have got actually. What does OA represent? Is real depth. Okay. O dash A is apparent depth. So real depth by apparent depth is equal to A mu W. Now how you can generalize it? A mu W. A is air, means rarer medium. And W is what? Water, denser medium. So one can write it as it is rarer mu denser. Is that clear? So this is the very important relation. You are supposed to learn and remember this relation. Okay? We are getting from this relation that real depth by apparent depth is equal to refractive index of the denser medium with respect to the rarer medium. So you see, when a body is here, this is the real position O, but what is the apparent position O dash? So you see, due to diffraction of light, what is happening? There is a shift in the position of the object. So how much is the shift or displacement? If you consider the shift or displacement is d, then you look at the diagram, how you can get the shift? It will be OA minus O dash A, isn't it? So what does OA represent? Real depth, and O dash A is apparent depth. Is that clear? Now, if you take real depth common here, so if you take real depth common, what it will be? It will be 1 minus apparent depth by real depth. Alright, now already we have got what is apparent depth by real depth. It is 1 by refractive index of the denser medium with respect to the rarer medium. Alright, if rarer medium is air or vacuum, then it will be the absolute refractive index of the denser medium. Alright, so this is the relation for shift. Here shift we have denoted by D. Don't mix it up with the lateral displacement G. Okay, it is different. Now the question comes that on which factor D depends. So directly from this one you can find out D depends on the refractive index, isn't it? How does it depend on the refractive index? When the refractive index is higher, then what will happen? D will be more. Because if it is higher, then this value will be less. So you are subtracting less from 1. So what will happen to D? D will increase. So how does it depend? Higher the value of the refractive index, more is the shift. Then refractive index, the shift depends on the real depth. Real depth means what? The thickness of the denser medium. Alright. So what is the second point, second factor? That shift depends on the real depth. Means shift depends on the thickness of the denser medium. Alright. More the thickness of the denser medium, higher will be the shift. Is that clear? Then third point. Third point actually coming from the first point, because if shift depends on mu and mu depends on wavelength, so what you can say that D depends also on wavelength. So how does it depend? That if lambda increases, then what will happen to mu? Mu will decrease, and if mu decreases, then what will happen to D? D will also decrease. Is that clear? So these are the factors on which shift depends. So you must remember this relation for numerical. Okay, last year this numerical came, and these are the factors on which the shift of the position of a body when it is kept in a denser medium depends. You must learn these three factors also. Now some consequences of this refraction of light in our day-to-day life. Now everybody has observed it, that if you immerse a stick in water, then you will see the stick appears to be bent and short. Alright, why it is happening? Let us get the explanation. But we have to draw the diagram. So how we will draw the diagram? You please follow the instruction, and that's the way you must draw the diagram. What you will do? This is the point C. So you just go up from, just take your pen up. Do not draw anything. And then you take a point C dash above C. Alright, anyway. And this is the way everybody should draw the diagram. Then you take two rays from C dash reaching the observer eye. Two rays C dash from C dash you take reaching the observer eye. Let us consider E be the observer eye. Alright. So then you put the arrows, they are reaching the observer eye. Now what you will do, that these two rays are meeting the upper surface at one point. Then they are meeting the upper surface at one point. Then that points you join to C. This is the way, if you draw the diagram, then easily you can draw it. So understand now the proper meaning. from the point C, two rays are coming out and falling on the water surface. Okay. Now, and here you draw two small perpendiculars. So, the ray is moving from denser to rarer medium. So, what they will do? They will move away from the normal. So, they are moving away from the normal and reaching observer eye. So, what the observer eye will do? Observer eye will extend the two received rays in the backward direction. They appear to meet at C dash. So, C dash will be the virtual image of C. So, you see, if you now join B and C dash, due to refraction of light, the observer standing in air, okay, the original stick ABC will appear as ABC dash. You see, it is bent and short. Okay, so why it is happening? Due to refraction of light from water to air. So, if the question come in exam that why a ray appears to be bent and short, then the best answer is that you draw this diagram properly, a correct diagram, and then write down the reason this way: due to refraction of light from water to air, then you refer the diagram as shown in the diagram. Is that clear? Everybody has got, this is the clever way to show everything to the examiner and write the answer in short. Clear? That if why a stick immersed in water appears to be bent and short, you draw this diagram and only write down this, that due to refraction of light from water to air as shown in the diagram. And also you write it as that BC dash is image of BC. Okay, that also you must write. BC dash is image of BC. Clear?